I'm going to show you the new way to set up your S26 Ultra's home screen, all of the One UI 8.5 settings that you must turn on, including the best way to set up the new privacy display feature in a way that's actually useful and not just a gimmick. But first, the unboxing. So this is the S26 Ultra in Samsung's exclusive silver shadow color. You get that very familiar no fluff unboxing experience this year. No pre-installed screen protector, no case, and of course, no power brick. The S26 Ultra now supports 60-watt super fast charging 3.0, so I'll link a brick with a 5A cable in the pinned comments that will get you from 0 to 80% in about 30 minutes. The included cable is only a 3A cable, which does support the super fast charging, but 5A is recommended to max it out. You will also get your SIM ejector tool in there so you can get set up as quickly as possible. Now the design coming from the S25 Ultra, here's what immediately feels different. The S26 Ultra is slightly larger but also slightly lighter, coming in at just 214 grams, and that's because Samsung swapped the titanium on the S25 Ultra for armored aluminium too. Whether that's a downgrade or a smart trade-off, I'll leave that up to you. We've got ever so slightly reduced bezels, we've got slightly more rounded corners and a button layout that feels extremely familiar, but kudos to Samsung, the buttons feel absolutely solid. It's definitely a testament to the build quality. But there is also another change this year that you probably wouldn't have noticed with the naked eye, and that is actually the punch hole selfie camera is ever so slightly bigger on the S26 Ultra. However, when you go ahead and take a selfie, you will notice that you've got a slightly larger field of view this year, meaning you're going to get a little bit more in frame. So we've covered all of the major design changes on the S26 Ultra, but the first thing you're going to want to do is get yourself a case, and I'd recommend picking up an ultra slim case because the S26 Ultra is absolutely huge. I'm going to link my favorite one, which is the Alumu Aramid fiber case, in the pinned comment and the description. It is my favorite because it is genuinely probably the thinnest case on the market. It offers good protection, it feels really good quality, and it's actually got magnets built in as well, which are really strong because obviously the S26 Ultra does not come with Qi 2 charging, so it's kind of essential in my eyes to make it work with MagSafe accessories. The second thing you're going to want to do, which is really important, and even if you haven't got your S26 Ultra yet, do this because it's going to save you so much time. Go into your WhatsApp messages and turn the auto backup on, because if you don't do that and transfer your phone across, you're actually going to lose all of your messages in WhatsApp, and it's going to be a huge pain. And before you do anything else, let's just fix the screen. Samsung ships this phone with a screen resolution set to Full HD Plus to save on battery. Don't do that. You've paid for a massive, gorgeous flagship display, so let's actually use it. Go to settings, then display, and change the screen resolution to WQHD+. Also, while I've got your attention, life is way too short to be doing something that is making you miserable, so I've gone ahead and quit my job and gone full-time YouTube, so a like and a sub would be much appreciated. Now we're ready for the fun part, and that's making it yours. And my top tip is to stop using your home screen how you usually use it. Instead, do what I've done and keep it clean and widget-based. Samsung has a side panel feature that is totally underused in my opinion, and once you get used to it, it really does become second nature. You'll see a very faint outline of an app drawer. This is the Edge panel, and where I keep all of my most used apps. Slide this out and first hit the settings icon in the bottom left. Click handle first, and if you're left-handed, switch the handle to the opposite side of the phone, then select a color that's similar to your chosen wallpaper but slightly off so it faintly shows up but isn't glaringly obvious. Play about with the size, and crucially, you'll also see an up and down arrow. Hold your phone as naturally as possible, and wherever your thumb sits without stretching, move the handle to exactly that position by dragging up and down. Next, go back and tap panels. Now, for most people, it's going to be fine as is, but for those of you who want to add some extra functionality, the people one is also a great one, so you can get quick access to all of your favorite contacts. Once you've done that, head back to the home screen, pull out your panel, and you'll see your apps. If you did go ahead and add an extra panel like your contacts or the compass tool, just simply swipe left or right to cycle through the different panels. On the apps page of the Edge panel, hit the pen icon and add all of your most used apps, keeping your most frequently used apps closest to where your thumb naturally sits. Bear in mind you can add folders here by dragging one app on top of another. You might want to do this for all of your banking apps, for example. Now, this next setting you definitely don't have to do, but for a truly minimal clutter-free look, press and hold all of your app icons currently on the home screen and remove them. This does not uninstall them. Next, press and hold your empty home screen, go to settings and change the grid size to 5:6. Then go back to your home screen, press and hold again and start adding all of your favorite widgets. In this same settings panel, you can select Add Finder to your home screen. Aesthetically, it might not be the prettiest, but it's definitely very practical. I'd also recommend pressing and holding your widgets, going to settings and playing around with the transparency. This is how I've got my One UI 8.5 Now Brief and Now Nudge widgets to seamlessly blend into the background. Again, you can make this as minimal as you like, but another top tip is to create a stack. So if you go to the search bar, for example, press and hold, create stack, and then find a widget that's the same size. Once you've done this, you can simply swipe across through different widgets. The reason for doing all this is simply because the S26 Ultra is such a huge phone. So what we're doing here is making sure that all of your most used buttons and apps and settings are all within reach of your thumb and fingers using the device with one hand. Believe me, it's going to change your life. Now, next up is the lock screen, and it always starts with an absolutely wicked wallpaper. I've actually put this one on my coffee page. It's absolutely free, and you'll also find some of my old S25 Ultra wallpapers on there as well. We're just going to keep this nice and simple. Press and hold, pick your time font, and then you're good to go. But one tip, if you pick the second option, this fits dynamically to your wallpaper. This is how I've got it to fit in this little bit of negative space here. Now, we're not quite done customizing yet. We've got the settings panel, which has had a few major changes for the better, in my opinion. First thing I do is press and hold the volume and brightness sliders, resize them to a vertical mode, and then move them to the right hand side of your screen if you're right-handed, and left for lefties. The S26 Ultra is a very big phone. It's very hard to use one-handed, so you'll thank yourself for doing this. Once you've done that, start stacking up your most used settings along the adjacent side so it looks nice and neat and tidy. If you can't find the settings you want, click the pen icon, go to the bottom and tap Add Control. You'll find all of your missing settings in there. I've also resized the default settings drawer here with the less essential settings, and I just pull that down like so when I need it. Now, this next one is absolutely essential. It's adding the toggle for the brand new privacy display feature. It's arguably the S26 Ultra's most elite flagship hardware upgrade this year, so make sure it's easily accessible. You can set it to activate only for specific apps like your banking apps, for example, or when typing in your PIN. And what it will do is make the screen barely visible to anyone viewing your phone from an angle. But as brilliant as the privacy display is on the S26 Ultra, having it kick in when you sat at your desk or on your couch in your own home is actually pretty annoying. So the pro move you can make to make your life a little bit easier is to automate it, and this is actually where a lot of people are going wrong with it. Go into settings, scroll down to modes and routines, and tap the routines tab. Tap the plus icon to create a new routine. Under If, select Place, type in your home address, select When I Arrive, or alternatively, select the Wi-Fi option so that when you're connected to your home's Wi-Fi, the feature will activate. Then, under If again, add App Opened, then select all of the apps that your privacy display usually activates for. Then, in the Then section, select Privacy Display and Off. Also make sure below that, where it says when routine ends, return to status before routine ran is active. Now when you open your banking apps in the security of your own home, the privacy display will no longer automatically activate. However, when you leave the house and go out in public, the privacy display feature will activate again, and you don't have to do any manual turning on or off. While you're in your settings, let's just fix the worst part about having a phone: spam calls. Galaxy AI can literally answer them for you. Open your phone tab, tap the three little dots in the top right, go to settings, tap on Call Assist and turn on. Now, when an unknown number calls, you can tap Call Assist on your screen. The AI will answer the phone, ask what they want, and then transcribe their answer onto the screen in real time so you can decide whether it's worth picking up the phone. Right below that in your phone settings, you'll see Record Calls. Tap into that and toggle on Auto Record Calls. You can set it to record all calls or just unsaved numbers. Quick heads up on this one, if you can't find this setting, call recording is region dependent due to local privacy laws, so if you don't see this option in your settings, your region doesn't support this out the box. I've also got another juicy audio tip for you as well that's definitely worth your time: setting up Adapt Sound. Now go to Sounds and Vibrations, go to Sound Quality and Effects, and hit Adapt Sound. You can then select an age preset, but taking a couple of minutes to do the actual hearing test is 100% worth it. It perfectly tailors the phone's audio frequencies to your specific specific hearing profile, and it makes a massive difference. Now, it's not something that Android users weirdly tend to use all that much, but Face Unlock is definitely another good one to have, and the best thing about it is that you can actually have it running alongside your fingerprint scanner as well. All of these fancy One UI 8.5 updates and the new setup for the S26 Ultra is arguably pretty exciting, but it doesn't answer the question, is the S26 Ultra actually worth buying or not? So watch my full review in the top left or right corner to answer just that. See you in the next one.